Hi everyone, welcome back to Rich's Garage. What you see here is a kit, but it's a little bit different from the other kits you've seen me build on my channel. This is a 1/10 scale RC rock crawler. I've been thinking about getting into RC for several years, but there was nothing that I saw that said, "Oh yeah, that's a vehicle I want to get." But then I happened to see this on someone on YouTube, and there's several YouTube videos of this Chevy K5 Blazer that Viterra came out with. So I decided to take the plunge and pick up this kit. You can also get this as a ready to run, where you just have to supply the battery and it's all set to go with a transmitter and a receiver, so you can drive it. But I'd rather build something than just buy it off the shelf and drive it. So I went ahead and picked this up, but obviously there's other things that have to go with this to make this work. So with the kit, you don't get things like the motor controller and such. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what I bought, and be my first time. You know, some veterans may say, "Oh, that's crap that you bought," but we'll see. I think it'll be fine. Like I said, part of the joy is building it. But there's some great videos of this truck in action on YouTube, and it looks like a pretty capable truck. I'm not looking to do anything extreme as far as competition or you know, crazy rock crawling, but just some basic stuff. You know, a lot of the other RC things that I've seen in the past, they're kind of a little bit more built for speed, where this is a little bit of a slower moving vehicle. I mean, it's still pretty quick, and there's some other options you can get with it. So I'm going to pause this because, as you can see, it's pretty big. It takes up my whole bench. I won't open everything here. I'll just kind of lay out what I picked up, and then as I go through it, maybe I'll just do little support videos here and there. But I'm going to pause you. I'm going to show you some of the other things. Okay, so I'm back with some of the components. So first off, this here is the receiver that I'm going to use to control the vehicle. I'll show you the actual controller that I wound up picking up. So like I said, I have zero stuff, so I had to start from scratch. The Ready to Run comes with a receiver, like I said, and a transmitter. This one is waterproof, I believe. And you know, Horizon is the distribution company that I believe they own Spectrum. They also own Viterra. So you'll see a lot of these components. And on the website, they have a list of recommended parts, but some of them, like, you know, looking online, they were out of stock. If you try and buy them through Horizon, they're list price. So I did a little shopping around. So this unit can also power the you can see throttle and steering here, if you look close on that. The steering servo I went with, I was searching around. There's several brands, and this is a high torque servo. But the one thing that I had to work out is this receiver only put out 2 amps at 5 volts, and this requires, I believe it's 5 amps at 6 volts for max torque. So I wound up buying basically this is a switching regulator, voltage regulator from Castle. So I'll have to do the wiring a little bit different, instead of just plugging it in to this. But this will source up to 10 amps, so this will be the power source for driving the servo. So that's your steering. Then I picked up, they have this comes, I think, from the factory, configured at like 4.6 volts output, but it's adjustable up to 9, but you have to get a cable, go through a USB port, and then you can set it for a 6 volt output. So that's the power, that's the steering. Here's the receiver. Next comes the motor. They have the brand is Dynamite, that, again, I believe Horizon owns them as well, that they have a motor spec for the unit itself. I went with a 55 turn motor, The higher the turns, the slower the max RPM. And we'll see how this axial one works. It's brushed, so that's this. And then you have the electronic speed controller, and this is, you see, waterproof as well. And this is what actually sends the signal to the motor and controls the motor. There's, depending on the batteries you use, you can use, there's a whole, plenty of videos on YouTube as far as the lithium polymer batteries, the LiPo batteries, 2S, 3S, you know, what all that means. Basically, it's the amount of cells and the voltage that you're going to get. The more cells that wire them in series, the more voltage you get. I'm going to be running this on 2S, primarily because from what I can see, the way the K5, the chassis is designed, it takes a more compact battery, and I'll show you the batteries in a second. So just to keep it simple, I got those batteries. Those batteries are 2S. I'm going to pause you again, and I'll show you some more stuff. Next, we have battery charger and batteries. This is probably a higher end battery charger. It's got 2 channels. You can charge 2 batteries at once. And the batteries, I opened the packs. So if you're not familiar with it, this is a battery. This is the main power plug. This can charge and also monitor what the individual cells are doing inside. There's a storage charge for these. I think it's around 3.8 volts. So you charge them up, and that's per cell. So when it's running, I think it's like 9.6 when it's fully charged. And you don't want to run these down all the way because they get unstable at the lower voltages. So there's basically an operating band for the batteries. So this is a little field tester. This is the one. And what you do is, it's got pins, so depending on the amount of cells, you'll have more pins. And the first black here is the common. So if I do this, so you can see this. So there it boots up. This is 2 cells. The total voltage is 8.31 on the pack. Cell number 1 is 4.15. Cell number 2 is 4.16. So that's how you can do a quick test without plugging everything in. But you see this is a little bit more compact, where similar output batteries were a little bit longer, so I didn't want to take a chance. And I could have got a 3S and wired it for the higher voltage and more power, but I decided let's just keep it simple. So that's that. I happened to pick up 2 batteries, and just to show you the second one. This is how they shipped, right? They've never been charged. Just opened them up. And on this second battery, 2 cells. This is 757, 379, and 3.78. So they're pretty balanced. This one's a little bit lower than the other one, but that's that. So those are the batteries. Now there were some things online as far as being careful when you charge these. And let me see where I put it. I actually bought a little what they call like a charging bag. That's these can get really hot if you overcharge them. They could pop. So the bag helps contain if they have a runaway situation or something like that. So I picked up one of them. All right, next is going to be the controller. Be right back. Here's the controller, the transmitter. I guess is probably more appropriate. So it has a steering wheel, some function buttons. This is an LCD backlit display. The unit that comes with the ready to run, I believe, is the DX2. Having 2 functions. This has up to 4 functions. This kit you can upgrade with a 2-speed transmission. So having the 3rd channel, I want to have that. But so there you have it. This is what the stuff looks like. This one, actually, I found a deal where this came with its own receiver, as well as the receiver that I showed you as a package, so I'll have an extra receiver. So that's the controller. Then just some basic tools. This is a ball link plier to help assemble the drivetrain. So you have a pivot ball, ball and socket type joints. The bodies come, they're Lexan. They're clear Lexan and has a curved scissor, a straight scissor, and a reamer. So you can open up the fender wells and stuff if you need to do that. This was a really inexpensive toolkit for metric, some hex heads and stuff like that, so I'm giving this a shot. I probably have some of these, but not knowing, not having all the Torx bits and stuff, this was, I figured let me just pick this up and see how that goes. Got some electric motor spray cleaner to clean the motor. And some tools to help assemble. You have to glue the tires to the rims. You could use rubber bands and stuff. What the heck, let me get these, make it a little bit easier, a little bit wider. Here's the glue, which I think is just a form of CA, but so let's just keep it, minimize my chance for failure and buy some of the products that are out there. I think that's about everything. As I go through it, I'll open the boxes and show you, but just to give you a little overview of what I'm getting into, as well as building models. So you'll probably see this interspersed with some model building. Alright everyone, take care.